Hello and welcome to AutoX. My name is Kari Motor and we're back at the Kari Motor Speedway with Eurogrip Tyres. They've brought their riders down from Europe and Japan. They're going to be giving us a masterclass on how they test the tires, and I'm going to be doing the same for you guys so you can call out BS on the next time you see a tire review that you don't like. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let me get through ins and outs of tire testing. Alright, for our test, we have two of Eurogrip tires for test. One is the Roadhound tires, which are basically sport touring tires meant for higher capacity motorcycles like this, the Harley-Davidson Street 750. And then we have the Protoc Extreme, that is meant for slightly middleweight motorcycles but with sporty intentions like the Duke 390 and the Domina 400. Now, when it comes to tire testing, the riders tell us there are three main criteria which you have to look at. First is the handling. Handling consists of how light it is, how precise the tires feel, how easy and how maneuverable they make the bike to be. Next we come to grip. That involves braking, turning, anything which requires the characteristics of the tire to hold on, grip the tarmac as hard as possible so that they can make it possible for you to go as fast as possible. The third and the final criteria which these riders look at is stability. Basically, tires are meant to go in a straight line. That's what they do. You take your hand off the handlebar, and what they're meant to do is plow straight on. That's what we're going to be testing, how stable these tires are, how straightforward they ride when you get it up to a certain speed. There's obviously certain criteria which enable us to test these tires, but first, we're going to be going out on multiple open track sessions and eventually followed by a slalom section on the main straight of the Kari Motor Speedway. So let's start with the open track sessions, and let me tell you how the Protoc and the Roadhound tires feel in that aspect. What the riders tell us is that neutrality and lightness are the most important aspects that these guys look out for. Neutrality basically means how naturally the bike responds to the rider's inputs, and that's important. That's what they look out for, and if that's not what they feel, they come back, they tell the engineers, and that's what's been worked upon in terms of the R&D. Then of course you also have acceleration and braking. These should feel natural, these should not be forced, and they should actually be pretty predictable in how you ride the motorcycle. When you go into a corner, it should be stable. When you come out of it, when you get on the gas, it should be predictable and natural, as I'd said. Then of course you have the fact that tires should follow the lines of the rider's input. You come into a corner, you want to take a wider line or a shorter line through that corner, well, the bike should feel predictable and should be ready to follow that input. What that also means is the bike should not respond differently to a rider's input. Once you tip it into a corner, if you want to tighten the line, it should not make it difficult for the rider. That's what I meant to say. Now for our first track session, this was the motorcycle that I was handed. It is the Harley-Davidson Street 750. It is a big and heavy motorcycle, but it was actually pretty nimble through the corners. It was fast in its acceleration. It was pretty stable when you got it up to triple-digit speeds, and when you wanted to slow down, the braking felt pretty natural as well. It has a pretty sharp bite, and the grip from those tires really do come into the equation. Now with the weight of this motorcycle, of course, it did have a bit of a difficulty coming to an abrupt halt, but it did make it pretty easy to do so in the fast flowing corridors around the Kari Motor Speedway. Of course, after that, then I got the TVS Ronin. That had the Protoc Extreme tires, and where that bike shine was the lightness, maneuverability and handling of the motorcycle. It felt easy, it felt light, and it felt pretty responsive, exactly how the riders wanted it to be. After which, of course, I put my hands down and I wanted the most fun motorcycle that you could possibly have around a technical track like the Kari Motor Speedway, which was the Duke 390. Now that was fitted with the Protoc Extremes, and the riders told us that you have to look out for two things. One, when going into a corner, try to deliberately move your body weight around, see how it responds. Then of course in the main straight, hurl into C1 and apply the brakes, see how it feels to put all that weight onto the front and try to tip in. And that aspect, yes, because of the lightness of the motorcycles, it didn't tend to lift the back a little bit. The fronts did complain, but never did it steer away from its line. It did stop in its mark, although a bit abruptly, and then tipped into a corner like it was nothing. Overall, the Duke 390 was really complemented by those Protoc Extreme tires, and I for one really enjoyed that particular session of today. Now, what we're told from Eurogrip tires is that the compound used in the making of the Eurogrip tires is the most important and crucial aspect for the lightness and maneuverability factor. Now, rideability and maneuverability, as I said, is absolutely crucial, and how these riders come about their conclusion is they use a set of tires, basically probably use Michelin at the front and back, get a benchmark, then they start changing it to the prototype Eurogrip tires either at the front or back or a different combination of each to see how the riders feel. Now, of course, during it all, the riders are not told which compound or which type of tire they're being used, and this is to eliminate any bias that they must have. What they do is they test in all aspects of their riding, come back, give that feedback to the engineers, and engineers apply it to the product itself. And of course, with that, we have the type of tires, whether it's the Protoc Extreme, which are meant for sporty riding, the Roadhound tires, which are meant for sport touring in bigger motorcycles, and that's how you come about the different compounds used for different tires. Now, overall, I think the entire day really showcased how much work goes into the making or perfecting a tire compound or a tire brand. Yes, we brought you a review of the TVS Roadhound, but today was the first time we really got to belt the Protoc Extremes around the Kari Motor Speedway, and it was not disappointing at all. So guys, what I want you to tell me in the comment section down below is what you guys look out for when you're going to buy a brand new tire. Whether it's one of the three aspects that I'd mentioned in this video, or maybe it's the price or the brand. Tell me in the comment section down below. My name is Kari Motor. Thank you guys for watching.